Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the R&B singer Jaguar Wright. And if you don't know who that is, well, Jaguar Wright is a R&B singer. She is not necessarily well known, but she is definitely been in the news recently or a lot this year due to the tea she was spilling about the neo soul community as well as other people in the R&B community who we know from the 90s and the 2000s. And I have to say that I'm kind of getting tired of hearing about Jaguar Wright because every other minute or every other day, something new or she's revealing something new about somebody in the R&B community or the neo soul community or the hip hop community. Now, granted, it's not uncommon nowadays for all this 90s and early 2000s and maybe hell even 80s and prior tea in the music industry or in the entertainment industry to be revealed by someone, whether they are famous, semi-famous, somewhat well-known or not well-known, people who knew people who may not have been famous as the people they're talking about, but people who, bump shoulders or rub shoulders with them. So it's not uncommon to hear about all this new tea that you never would have known. Hell, that's what biopics are for. But first, I did agree with Jaguar Wright, or I did believe her in the first half. I'm not going to lie. Jaguar Wright had me in the first half. I'm not going to lie, okay? But she had me in the first half, but now I really am starting to think, is she starting to come out with all this tea left and right about everybody for clout, or is he trying to get her name buzzing again? Because this is the most she's been talked about. I don't necessarily remember Jaguar Wright, but apparently she was, almost a big thing back in the 2000s. And her name really started making headways when she started talking about the roots and spilling all the neo soul tea in the neo soul community, about the misogyny, the violence, the sexual abuse and assault that she's either witnessed or faced herself. She basically was calling people out, like the Roots, and she was calling out. I'm not sure if it was a Tribe Called Quest. I think she called out uh she called out another group. Oh yes, Wu-Tang. She called out Wu-Tang. She even said she dated a member from the Wu-Tang clan who was 45 when she was 19, just so other members of the group would not mess with her. Now, in the beginning, when she started calling people out, basically, I really do think in the beginning she called people out because Malik B had passed away, and so has her son. And I feel like I'm not a mother with a child, but I can understand if I were to have a child and you were to lose a child. Yes, that would be devastating. And I heard that she said that ever since her son died, she has nothing to lose. So I feel like all this tea that she is spilling is probably coming not only from truth, but partially as well from anger and grief in a way. And now she's just an angry person, and she's just releasing all that after her son and Malik B died. And she was basically calling out the Roots for their hypocrisy on the fact that they were on Fallon and they were getting paid, and Malik B only got $300 a week or $300 a month or something, and they would have never made it to the Grammys had Malik B, not written and produced. And the only reason they're considered like a rap group, or one of their albums were considered a rap album, was because Malik B had street cred. So again, side note, RIP, rest in peace to Malik B. It's sad, but moving on. Now, with the more tea she's spilling, after the whole Roots spilling, she started spilling tea about Jill Scott. She started spilling tea about Erykah Badu and all the neo soul people in the community. She started spilling tea about Common. And from what I heard, it seems like she has an affinity for Music Soul Child, because she, out of everybody in the neo soul or R&B community of the 90s, 2000s, she never really talked about Music Soul Child. That's the one name I have yet to hear her talk about. But now she's starting to talk about everybody. And honestly, after the whole Roots, after she started spilling tea about the Roots and Jill Scott and Common and Wu-Tang and Erykah Badu, next she started talking about Alicia Keys, and she started talking about Mary J. Blige and saying that, oh, they're secretly gay, and that Tevin Campbell is gay. And Tevin Campbell was the only one to call her out with a lawsuit, so I'm not sure if that's him taking a stand to fight against defamation of character or something because she's lying. Because I have heard that, Tevin Campbell was allegedly gay. I'm going to say that for legal purposes, allegedly. And if he's gay, so what? It doesn't matter. But if he's not, then I'm not sure if him coming out with a lawsuit against her is a case of a hit dog will holler, or is it a case of, no, you lied on me, so I have every right to take legal action against you. But that's beside the point. But I am honestly starting to see, ever since she started talking about Summer Walker, who she said, oh, Summer Walker does not have social anxiety disorder. She was sexually assaulted because, I know that because I've been there and I've seen that happen. And Summer Walker also came after her. So I'm not sure if it's a case of, girl, you're lying through your teeth and I'm coming after you for spreading lies about me, or it's a case of a hit dog will holler. Because yes, we always hear certain things that go on in industries like the entertainment industry. A lot of the things from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, even now we're starting to hear about things that happen in the music industry, whether you're famous or whether you're trying to get in and come up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. So I wouldn't say it happened because I don't know anything, the ins and outs of what Summer Walker is going through, but people have definitely said, you're cold to your fans, but because her social anxiety disorder was coming into question. But I'm not going to be so quick to bash her, because we definitely need to take mental health, and especially in our communities, more seriously and analyze this instead of being quick to bash. But that's beside the point. So next, she started calling Alicia Keys and Mary J. Blige gay. She started saying that Mary J. Blige had a girlfriend and Alicia Keys had a girlfriend, and that whole blended family thing and all this stuff. And I'm just trying to say, like, girl, either you know something we don't know, or I'm starting to get the feeling, because she said that she doesn't have anything to lose ever since her son died and there's nothing to chase. She can't be blackballed further than she already is. So I am wondering, is this really a case of you finally bringing out and spilling all this tea? And Storm Monroe, I kind of like him, but I kind of don't like him, because he's kind of giving me Tasha K 2.0 vibes, just a little bit. Okay, but I barely know him, so I'm gonna watch more of his videos if I can. But what I find funny is with Jaguar Wright, I'm starting to get the feeling like this is more so for clout now, because I feel like the more and more she talks, it's like, are you really trying to spill this tea? And it seems like there's not too much evidence to back it up, other than rumors and repercussions and regurgitations of rumors that have already been put out there in the atmosphere. And, the fact that, it's all pure speculation. So it's either your speculation, or I think this is not only coming from a place of anger, and grief at the loss of her son and Malik B, but I'm also getting vibes that this is also a case of bitterness and jealousy, that a lot of the people you've named, they have maintained some type of relevance and legacy within this community from the 90s until now. Even if they're not A-list like Beyonce, people can say they know who Common is. They know who Alicia Keys and Mary J. Blige are. They know who Music Soul Child, of course you didn't mention him, but they know who the Roots are, even through Fallon, or even before Fallon. They know who Wu-Tang Clan is. They know who Jill Scott and Erykah Badu are. So I'm personally feeling that some of this is coming from a place of anger. It's coming from a place of bitterness and jealousy, that they're relevant. And she claimed that, they're all arsonists and they stepped on other people to get where they are. And I hate that I have to constantly hear about this from people in the industry, especially people who are famous. I think Diddy is definitely one of those people, because I heard almost everyone but him on his Bad Boy label went broke. Same thing with Suge Knight, with his Death Row Records. Only the owners, the house walked away rich, but everyone in some way, shape, or form suffered. Diddy won't allow Mace to buy his publishing back. So that's another thing, but that's beside the point. She even accused Diddy of being on the down low. And granted, again, truth is stranger than fiction. I would not be surprised if it happened. I'm not saying Diddy ever gave me those vibes. I don't see it, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if it did, because we're always hearing something shocking that's happening in the music industry. So I don't believe it. I don't see it with Diddy, but I definitely would not be surprised if something were to come out. But all I hear is Jaguar calling everybody and their mama gay. She's like, everybody and their mama is gay, or everybody and their mama was sexually assaulted in the music industry. And I feel like part of this is projection coming from her. And I really don't think that she really has any other substance to tie it. There's not too much evidence other than, rumors that have either been confirmed or mostly confirmed. But every minute she's talking about someone who was sexually assaulted or someone who's on the down low or gay. So, and I feel like it's really projection of her. She did say she's bisexual, and she did say that she was a sexual abuse survivor. So, and I'm not trying to be insensitive to those things, because I identify as someone who, likes both genders. But anyway, other than that, I personally feel that, again, this is just coming out of bitterness and jealousy and envy, and her wishing that she had maintained some level of stardom and relevance. And she probably blames those people for getting ahead and maybe stepping on her or other people in the process. And maybe they did. And if they did, they should own up to that. But I really think Diddy is also the one that messed up. I'm not sure how close she was with Diddy, or how, in proximity, or how much influence Diddy had on her career. But I definitely know that people who worked with Diddy, although he, made his millions and is a producer, and he was a hot name and is a hot name to a certain degree in this industry, I do think that Diddy definitely has done a lot of his artists dirty, because the common denominator always comes back to, people under Diddy's label. It comes back to Diddy. The common denominator for people failing under Diddy's label always comes back to Diddy and his label. So I personally feel like, yeah, Diddy needs to own up, which is why I did not like that whole speech of Diddy saying, oh, well, Grammys, you need to support artists and black artists, yet and still you screwed a lot, if not all of your black artists over, and you did them dirty. So yeah, Jaguar, you had me in the first half, but to be honest, I really believe that, you need to sit down, because I'm starting to think that you're just trying to say anything for anything. Whether it's calling somebody gay or on the down low, or saying they were sexually assaulted, and with really no substance or evidence other than, rumors and speculations that's already been said before. And I personally think you really want to get back into this industry, and you're just jealous and upset at this point. So yeah, that's all I had to